So you guys are going to read this box. You're going to go through it. There's your 5 steps. Tell me if one of those steps is like, that looks like Greek to me. I don't understand what it's saying. Tell me now, and then I'll explain it a little, and then once everybody is on the same page and feels they kind of know what these words mean, we'll actually start working.
So are you just solving for a letter and then putting that answer to the other equation?
Yes. That is the first problem most people have. When I say back in grade 9 algebra, if I gave you something like this, 3x plus 7 equals 16. And I say solve it. What does that mean? Find the variable. And what do we say in math, really? What are we doing? What's the fancy math word for it? What are we doing to that variable? Isolating. We're going to isolate that variable. Get it alone, yeah? So when we did math like this, everyone could do it. Oh, okay, minus 7, 3x equals 9, no problem. Divide by 3, x equals 3. Isolated. Cool? Now the problem is in grade 10, this is out the window now, isn't it? Because we don't only use one variable. How many variables do we use? 2. So now I've got 3x plus y equals 16. And you can't solve that, can you? Because you can't isolate both variables. Does everybody understand? So the question says, solve for one of the variables. So solving back in grade 9 meant get the variable alone. In grade 10, solving for one of the variables means what? Get one of the variables alone. It's the same algebra, but now instead of ending up with a letter equals number, we end up with letter equals something else. Everybody cool? And the hint is try to choose a coefficient of 1 or negative 1. So let's look at this. Which one of these would be the equation we should start with? Why? Because it's got a coefficient of 1. Is everybody cool? Does everybody understand why we chose the top one? All right. What's step 2? Take the step 1. We've chosen it. Now we got to solve for it. So we got to get that x by itself. So I'm going to go ahead and write it down again under here properly. What's got to move there to get x by itself? The negative 4y's got to come over here, which means what will happen to it? It will be positive. So our new equation is now x equals 4y minus 1. Does everybody see what I did there? Yeah? Okay. Now, you guys know that if I write something like this, 3, 4. Wait, that's no good. Sorry, wait. 3, 7. What can I do with that? That can go in there, and where can that go? In there. Does everyone agree? Like, that's not news to anyone, is it? Okay. So let's look at what we have here. We have x equals 4y minus 1. What letter do you have right there? X. What is x? 4y minus 1. So, 3, not x, 4y minus 1 plus 5y equals 31. Now, look at this. Here, we're screwed. 2 letters. Here, are we good? Why? Thanks, Bradley. Why are we okay here? Because there's only one letter. And we can do algebra with one letter, can't we? So what would we do here to get our one letter? First thing we got to do is get rid of those brackets. So, start working. What's the first one here? 12y minus plus 5y equals 31. What's next? You're going to get rid of the 3. So I'm going to have 12y plus 5y equals, and I'm moving that 3 over there to become plus 3 equals 34, yeah? Now what? Add your y's. Why? Because they're the same variable. They're like terms. 17y equals 34. Now what? Divide by 17. And what does y equal? 2. Now you guys are smart kids. Y equals 2. You're smart kids. There's two variables. There must be an x and a y, correct? Well, what do I have? Y equals 2. Right? So what's missing? X. This x is still an x, isn't it? But doesn't x equal 4y minus 1? And doesn't y equal 2? So what do I do with that 2? Goes in right there. X equals 4 times 2 minus 1. What's 4 times 2? Minus 1? 7. X equals 7. Is there a blank x? So what goes there? 7. Does everybody see? Does everybody see how it's better than graphing? Because as soon, if it didn't work out perfectly, we could still do it, couldn't we? We could say y was 2.7 and put it in here. 4 times 2.7 minus 1. We could do it, right? So, look at what we got. There's one more step that nobody ever does, but you need to do it. We just worked with this equation, correct? So we know this is right. We put the 2 in there, we got 7. So that's okay. How many equations are in this system? 2. We've checked one of them. Have we checked this one? What does x equal? What's 3 times 7? 21. What does y equal? What's 5 times 2? 10. Is 21 plus 10 31? So we're right. Super easy, yeah? Everybody with me? Now, look at this barfematic stuff. Gross to graph, how easy to solve? Y equals this and y equals this, correct? So doesn't this and this have to equal? So isn't this 700 plus 0.03x, because y equals that, and isn't it this? Isn't it? Then we can solve that in our sleep, can't we? Get the x by itself. So, minus 0.02 minus 0.02, 0.01x equals minus 700, 300. Multiply by 100, x equals 30,000. Now, x was our s, so sales had to equal 30,000. Takes 1 second to do algebraically. Picking up what I'm putting down? Everybody good? All right, let's look at the next one. Which one are we going to choose? The top one again. And what letter are we going to go for? The y, because it's by itself. Now, you guys, for some reason, when you move this over here, you all want to write it as negative 2x plus 3, which is correct. But then, later on, when you do math with this, that negative messes with you if you put it first. I don't know why it messes with you, but I've been teaching 17 years of math, and if there's a negative at the beginning there, for some reason, you guys make computational errors all the time. So I would write this, if I were you, as 3 minus 2x. And for some reason, even though they're exactly the same, you guys work better when it looks like this. Not you guys, maybe, but all the kids I've ever taught in the past. So I don't care which way you do it, because they're both the same thing. They both have a negative 2x and a positive 3. You choose. Now, do you think anything else changes? Of course not. So, we have a y equals this. Well, what's that letter? So what do we put there? That. So I have 4x plus 3, not y, 3 minus 2x. And what does that equal? 1. And then we solve. Go. Yo. An extra where? Because this x is right here. We haven't done anything to x. We only know what y is. So that x is still alone. Do you understand? Okay. So 4x plus what? What? 9 minus 6x equals 1. 4x minus 6x equals negative 8, right? Negative 2x equals negative 8, and x equals positive 4. So now I know that my answer is 4 comma something. I need the y. There's y, there's x. So y equals negative 2 times 4 plus 3. What's negative 2 times 4? Negative 8. What's negative 8 plus 3? Negative 5. Do I have my x and y? Do we know it works with the blue one? Yup, because that's one we just used. So which is the one we have to check? This one, correct? What's 4 times 4? 16. What's 3 times negative 5? Negative 15. What's 16 minus 15? 1. So are we correct? Is everybody good? Fine. Choose a letter, get it by itself, put it back in the other equation. Shaylee.
I did it the opposite way because it says to start with a letter that has coefficient of 1 and negative 1.
Yeah, that's y.
Okay.
Because y's coefficient right there is 1. Okay. Now, will this work if you screw it up and start trying with the 2? It will still work, but you're going to have fractions. Is that okay? It's okay, but who likes working with fractions? None of you put your hand up because you hate them. Let's look at our next question. What is wrong with it? There's no coefficient that is 1. So I got to find a coefficient that is 1. Which one of those two do you think we should work with? Doesn't matter because they both stink, don't they? Right? So I'm going to go with Saida. Saida says she wants to work with the top one. Right? So since neither one of them is by itself, we've got to choose one to work with. Does it matter which one? Do you think? Of course not. What one do you guys want to work with? We've done one with X, we've done one with Y. What do you feel like today? Shh, I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that. We've done a bit of work. Saida has realized, hey, wait a minute. I don't like this. What don't you like about it? Fractions all over the place, yeah? On second look, as Bryce noticed, hey, wait a minute. Doesn't 20 divide by 4? So if I move this 20 over here and divide by 4, I'm in good shape, aren't I? Well, let's try that. So we'll switch to this guy. So now I'm going to move that 20 because I want to divide by 4 because 20 and 4 work together, don't they? This is what I mean. At the beginning of the year, I would have shown you guys this, and you would have all been, I have to do it this way because this is what Mr. Meyer says I have to do. But two of you said, wait a minute, I don't have to do it that way. I'm going to stop and think for a second. Hey, 20 divides by 4, I'm going to do it this way. Do you see the difference? So, let's make this happen. That becomes 20y minus 3, correct? But I've still got this 4 here, so what do I got to do? How do I get rid of the 4? Divide by 4, right? Or do I? 4x equals 20y minus 3. What's that? 4x. Doesn't 4x equal 20y minus 3? What? Magic. Now, if I didn't say anything, and I shouldn't have, I got ahead of myself because I love this question because at the end I get to say, oh, you guys did so much extra work, look what you could have done, but I couldn't help myself. What would you normally do here if you've been memorizing steps and not thinking? You would divide by 4, wouldn't you? And you'd get x equals 5y minus 3/4, wouldn't you? And there's one of those fractions that we hate. Could we finish the work? Of course we could, because that x would go in here, wouldn't it? And 4 times 4, it would cancel, yeah? So it would work. But can't we save ourselves a step? Because 4x is this, isn't it? And there's a 4x. So what would I write there? 20y minus 3 plus 5y equals 2. Does everybody see what we did there? We just went one step further. We didn't isolate. We saw that they're the same thing. So now we can solve this, can't we? We'll get to it. 20y plus 5y equals 5, yeah? Because that's coming over. And y equals 1/5. Is everybody cool? 5 divided by 25. I skipped a step. I shouldn't have. Sorry. 25y equals 5. Divide by 25. Y equals 1/5. Everybody good? Now, we're stuck with that fraction, aren't we? But look over here. All I need is an x, correct? This is a y, right? Is there somewhere that y can go that will get rid of that fraction? Five divided by 25. Is there somewhere I can put this 1/5 for a y that will make the fraction disappear? What's 5 times 1/5? What do the 5s do? Cancel. So it saves the day, doesn't it? So I get 4x plus 5 times 1/5 equals 2. 4x plus 1 equals 2. 4x equals 1. And x equals 1/4. Now, can I check it? Super easy to check, isn't it? With both equations, right? X is 1/4. What's 4 times 1/4? 1. Minus 20y. What's 20 divided by 5? 4. 1 minus 4. Is that negative 3? So are we right? Yep. Does everybody see what we're doing? Now, could you have completed this with all the fractions? would it still work? Yes. Noticing stuff like this is the difference between doing math and getting math. Do you see it? You could do this all the way down. This is what, like, a C plus B student would do. Follow the steps, I'll get the marks. The A students notice this because they're thinking about the numbers. They're not thinking about the steps, they're thinking about where they're going. Everybody with me? Everybody cool? Okay. You have 23 minutes left in class, and please notice I have given you very little textbook work. Okay? But I have a puzzle sheet for you. Because puzzle sheets are fun, because you do the math, and then you get a funny joke afterwards. Okay? So I also have a puzzle sheet for you. I'm going to bring the puzzle sheet around right now. Everybody good? Now, because today is a short day, obviously we don't have time to go over your whole test. Because I want to go over the whole test, because it didn't go as well as I had hoped it was going to go for many of you. So we'll go over the test tomorrow. If you haven't written the test, I expect to see you tomorrow at lunch to write the test. Okay? Everybody good? Okay. And remember, this is not my favorite. The one we do tomorrow is my favorite. Only do the 163 side of this. Do not do the back side, because we're going to use the other method to do the back side. Get out of here. I barked in grade 8 English.
I barked in like first semester in like social class, and then walking out of the
Oh, I didn't even walk out. I was sitting there, guess like Saida. I was like,
It's me right now.
all over the floor. Chocolate milk and French fries, because that's what I had at lunch from the cafe. And then the girl who sat behind me, I was totally in love with. I've told you this story. I was totally in love with her, and they brought in stuff to clean up my barf, and it was so chemically, it burned her nose. I know, it didn't help, right?
I've cleaned up
Okay, now, as always, ladies and gentlemen, I like to show you how to do the first question of a puzzle sheet, because that's the hardest thing. Okay, here it is. Do you need to do anything, or is it already started for you? It's already started for you, because the y is already set up, correct? So what goes in for this y? 2x. So I have x plus 2x equals 12. 3x equals 12. X equals 4. So 4 goes there. 2 times 4 is 8. So the point is 4, 8. Then I go down my list. I find 4, 8, which is right here. And for the number 1, I put HE. Got it? Go! Do math. Oh, and by the way, in case anyone cares, if you were to show your folks, most of your parents, solving a system of equations, they would think you were wizards.
That's good, that'd be way better. This way sucks. You know, I like it.
I don't like substitution either. I only use it as in the odd time that it actually works better. When does substitution work real well in a question like this, when you already have them set up because you can just make them equal each other? That's great for substitution.